Epilogue.
One of the world's most successful and insightful businessmen, Warren Buffett, recognized that there are many elements, both clear and subtle, which contribute to an individual's and business's success, and would sometimes, while giving a lecture, detail and expand upon an interesting thought experiment first presented by the modern legal philosopher John Rawls. In his major work, A Theory of Justice, Rawls described the concept of the original position behind a veil of ignorance. Buffett called this proposition the ovarian lottery. Buffett would pose a question, provide some background, and a set of conditions. Acknowledging that as a child, he had the advantage of living in a home where people discussed interesting things, had intelligent parents, went to good schools, and had been born in the right place in the right year. Buffett would explain how he was wired with skills that allowed him to thrive in the business environment of this time period and society. In essence, Buffett declared he had won the ovarian lottery. Now imagine, Buffett would say, that you are going to be born 24 hours from this moment. Imagine that a genie has come to you, or maybe for your thought experiment, God has come to you, and said that you have been granted absolute power to determine all the rules in society. The genie says,
I'm going to let you have an extraordinary opportunity. I'm going to let you design the world into which you're going to be born in 24 hours. It's yours. You pick out the political rules, you pick out the economic rules, you pick out the social rules, you design the world. And when you're born in 24 hours, you're going to be born into that world. And that's the world that's going to exist for your lifetime, for your children's lifetime, for your grandchildren's lifetime.
Having heard of some of these genie jokes in the past, you might ask, what's the catch? The genie replies,
well, it's a very slight catch. I said, when you're born in 24 hours, you're going to emerge in this world you designed. But what you don't know is whether you're going to be born black or white, male or female, rich or poor.
The thought experiment continues by further detailing the unknowns. You do not know where you will be born. Maybe as the U.S. or Afghanistan, maybe in the jungles of Africa or Asia, or maybe in South America or the Middle East. You do not know what language you will speak or what religion you will be born into. Will you be born tall or short, with a high IQ or a low IQ, physically athletic or disabled? You do not know who your parents will be or whether you will have two parents or one. Will you be an orphan? In this thought experiment, you are going to get to draw one ball out of a barrel of 8 billion balls, 8 billion souls, and that will be you. You are now partaking in the ovarian lottery. It is the most important event in which you will ever participate. This single event will determine and impact your life to a far greater degree than what school you attend, how hard you work, or what skills you develop. Knowing all these conditions, Buffett would continue,
now, what kind of rules do you want to have for that society, not knowing which ball you're going to get? Now, that I put to you is the way I think people should think about social policy.
So given these conditions, what kind of world are you going to construct? What kind of economy will you establish? What type of tax system will you install? And what style of government will you set up? In total, what type of society will you institute? Instinct suggests that you would work toward choosing a system that will produce an abundance of goods and services, where abundance and wealth will increase for you, your children, and your grandchildren, so that your offspring will have a better life than yours. You will want to create a system that treats people who do not win the ovarian lottery in the way that you would want to be treated. If the lottery ball you ended up with placed you in a less than optimal position. Bear in mind that there are many people who do not win this lottery. When Buffett was born, the odds were 30-1 against birth in the U.S. For Buffett, just winning that portion of the lottery has been an enormous plus. Ultimately, The key is to have a system of balance that cultivates all people, rewards everyone who chooses to work hard, promotes a wide variety of talents, encourages the development of those talents, and prompts everyone to thrive. A system that at the same time treats the people who lose the lottery in a manner which guarantees that just because, in that one moment in time when destiny issued the arduous ticket, they do not live a life dramatically worse than the people who are blessed with the luck of chance. As you reflect on these elements, consider what structure will create a fair and equitable environment for yourself, your children, and your grandchildren. Then, if by chance you are presented with this decision in the unfolding of the universe, what system would you choose? The logic, the math, and the science direct that a societal structure which includes the implementation of the ABT tax system significantly and inexorably advances the elements to meet these essential criteria. As the most equitable and efficient tax system to implement, it will contribute to a foundation of fairness for everyone within society. At its core, the ABT tax system most dynamically promotes the advancement of our inchoate meritocracy and works to provide each of us equally with the potential to prosper. The true first principle of a democracy.
Acknowledgements.
Creating and constructing this project resulted from a joyful and inspirational alchemy of private reflection and deep collaboration with a great many individuals. Without the support, commitment, and guidance of these family members, friends, and colleagues, this book would not have been possible. Their contributions have been critical in both small and large measures. For all their insight, energy, and faith, I am forever grateful. To each and every one, I express my profound appreciation. This project has benefited enormously from the creative vision, writing craft, and artistic talent of several invaluable individuals, for which I extend my heartfelt thanks and gratitude. You have given me the greatest of gifts with this project. Truly indispensable has been the talent, perspective, writing, and wisdom of David Parker, our managing editor. The ideas presented here could not have fully matured or blossomed without the inspiration, vision, and precision of Xiaodong Wu, Ph.D., who was able to distill the science and technology featured in this project. Gerard Cryan provided history, enlightenment, and profound debate. Our graphic designer, Brian Soma, of Group Soma, has made magic with the images and representations of these concepts. Conrad Aussie Poets of Blue Room Productions has brought to life the voice of this project through his remarkable production of the audiobook. To my family, a transcendent thanks for your patience, encouragement, love, and support in the timeless journey of this lifetime we share. It would be remiss not to also acknowledge some of the early pioneers of this innovative approach to taxation. Dr. Edgar Feiger conducted extensive research into automated payment transaction taxes, published his findings around the world, and spent decades advocating for them in the U.S. and abroad. Dr. Marcos Sintra also conducted and published outstanding research on the topic, including his in-depth analysis of the process when the Brazilian government adopted automated transaction taxes, albeit on a limited basis. This would have been a much more difficult task without their remarkable research and publications. And finally, with this project, whether in the printed version or this audio version I personally recorded, whatever errors and omissions that may exist, they are my responsibility. Eternal gratitude to all.
End credits. This audiobook is presented by Interterra New Media. This recording was produced and directed by Thomas J. Cryan and David Parker. Recorded at the Blue Room Music Studio, Bethesda, Maryland. The theme music used is a variation on J.S. Bach's Great G Minor Fugue by Nightingale Noor. The underlying mathematical rigor found in Bach's work is presented as an inspiration for the mathematical elements explored in this work, with the desire that collectively they might resonate and spark insight. This audiobook's sound production, recording, and engineering was completed, edited, mixed, and mastered by Conrad Ozzy Poets at the Blue Room Music Studio, Bethesda, Maryland. Text, copyright 2024, Thomas J. Cryan, and audiobook production, copyright 2024, Thomas J. Cryan. We hope you have enjoyed this program from Interterra New Media. For more information about additional books and programs, visit the websites disruptingtaxes.org and interterranewmedia.com. Thank you for listening.